24 knots, over.
Life in the Caribbean is relaxed and easygoing. If you have the right ideas, all you need is food and entertainment. Already the first settlers on the British Virgin Islands got their salt from the sea, and pirates distilled rum by the barrel from sugarcane. Josiah's Bay is far off the beaten track. It's really quiet here, normally.
Good music.
What music you want to listen to?
Something jumpy, we could go up to.
Okay,
one or two. Stamina?
The soca music, the sound of the Caribbean. It must be played loud. They need it for the warm-up of their weekly training. They are Moko Jumbies, stilts dancers. For their upcoming appearance, they train on the beach of Tortola, the biggest of the British Virgin Islands.
Poker run?
I don't have my boat ready and thing. From since I've born, I always wanted to be a Moko Jumbie dancer because I just like to see everyone up there so tall. It just looks so, you know, fun.
Shevorn is the group's boss.
The first time I tried, it was a little bit scared. But you can't be scared when you're gonna do it because you're gonna panic and then you're gonna fall. It's about that. So you gotta keep chipping while you're holding on until you get your balance to it. And when you don't get your balance, you're gonna loose off the wall and then you're gonna be like this. You're gonna be chipping like this. And then you have all the kind of space, then you're gonna try to do all kind of tricks to it.
But this only works if the 2-meter-long stilts are tightly attached to the legs.
It's pretty.
I always the last one to come up. Everyone is so fast and I'm so slow.
Due to the soft sand here on Tortola, it doesn't hurt too badly if you fall. This was Jamal's biggest fear when he tried it for the first time.
It was really terrifying because I was scared of heights, because looking at these Moko Jumbies, you could actually fall and hurt yourself. So that what gave me fear, but I overcome my fear by trying this and I actually get it done. Yeah.
Slaves introduced the stilts dance to the British Virgin Islands. Originally, Moko Jumbies expelled evil spirits, but nowadays they are mostly booked as a show troupe during carnival or for private parties. Their next show is coming up soon. The British Virgin Islands. The British Queen still reigns over this island state. This overseas territory is under the protection of the British Crown. 350 years ago, Great Britain annexed the remote archipelago consisting of 60 islands in the north of the Caribbean. Only 16 are inhabited. Before the British, Danish, Spanish and Dutch buccaneers roved about these parts. And as pirates like to drink rum, it is distilled here since then.
You see, it's very ancient, you know. That is why I always tell people the rum is so good, that's why it keeps me looking young.
The Sugarcane Bay Distillery is rumored to be more than 400 years old. Callum himself is only 29, but nevertheless, he's the master distiller at Callwood Rum. Every morning before 8, he heats up the fire from wrung sugarcane. This makes his product very special.
By using the gasoline, it actually gives the rum a taste, like a bad taste. So that's why we don't show any diesel or gasoline in here. So we try to do it, naturally, It's like cooking a food outside. If you cook some food outside with using trees, woods, dry woods, it tastes much more better than you using a stove, The food will taste totally different. So this is something like this here right now.
The ancient pot is still cold, but it may become critical once the fermented sugarcane juice bubbles in there in a couple of hours. The dented copper apparatus has little cracks and holes everywhere, which is why Callum always uses his special filler.
This is like a flour paste. We make to seal off the leaks from the stills. So this is gonna get dry when the pot gets real hot. So it forms similar like a bread. So it would not escape the alcohol. So it would not burst out.
The filler out of flour and water is 100% biodegradable, but this is one of the problems.
See, sometimes the fowl come 5 o'clock in the morning and pick on the flour because this is like a bread to them. So that's why you see all these parts here eat out is the fowl would actually do it.
The first drops of rum are supposed to dribble out of the condensing tube around midday. With 500 horsepower through the Sir Francis Drake Channel, Alexandra Durante and her brother Edward want to cross from Tortola over to Salt Island. The island is uninhabited, but Alexandra and Edward aren't looking for company there. They are after the natural resource that everything revolves around in their family.
Maybe look at all that up there.
Yeah, I see a piece.
Yeah, there we go.
It's early in the year, but still it's extraordinarily hot and dry. Therefore, the first salt of the season already builds up at the lagoon.
Shimmering. I just love how it's all symmetrical in squares and triangles and cubes.
Usually their harvest only starts 2 months later, when the seawater in the lagoon evaporates quicker than it can flow up again. Alexandra and Edward have their own exclusive harvesting ground here.
We're descendants of Salt Island. My uncle, Norwell Durante, mined salt for years. We're the original family that actually lived on this island and buried the sailors from the RMS Rhone in 1867. And for rent, the Queen actually asked my family to supply her with 1 pound of salt a year.
Harvesting salt this early in the year. This hasn't happened for a long time. They only need 1 bucket of salt. From now on, they will come here once a week to carefully harvest the crystals. They are supposed to be as big as possible, as this salt is the most important ingredient at Alexandra's small soap manufactory.
Beautiful. Keep going. So, it's to fully drain the salt because salt attracts moisture. So the drier it is, the longer it keeps in your bucket when you bring it back before we cure it fully. So it doesn't all melt in a bucket and you open it up and it's all brine.
The freshly harvested salt shall now rest for at least 1 hour. Salt Island is a natural salt farm. Seawater constantly seeps into lagoons, slowly turning to brine due to the heat and then to salt. Queen Elizabeth also rules over this barren island.
Well, the Queen is in control of the whole thing. It's hers now because she doesn't want us to come over here and kill each other, I guess the family, you know, because everybody wants to fight over this and that and property and salt rights and whatnot, you know. So I guess she just took it over to mediate it and keep everybody alive, you know, in Tortola. But everybody's cool with it, though. Nice.
Yeah.
The hard, solid, big chunks.
Yeah.
After almost 2 hours, the fresh salt is dry enough and ready for transport. In the midday heat, Alexandra and Edward head back home to Tortola. The smallest of the British Virgin Islands lies in the middle of Beef Island. It's an island within an island. And it's so small that there's just enough room for a bar. It's called the Island, a name that's easy to remember even if you're plastered. It's quite popular due to its exceptional location and famous for its population of hermit crabs. Once a week, the bar staff collects the little buggers.
They like the trees, they like to hide. They're under stuff, like under this rock maybe. But I don't, there seems to be none over here. You got one?
Hermit crabs don't have a shell of their own. They live in empty snail shells. Some were painted by the bar staff. House and home for crabs.
There's 3 of them hiding in here. Let's see what they're awesome and they're good entertainment. And they're like family. All of them has personalities. As you can see, this one here, he's a biter. This one here is kind of shy. This one here is young, so he's, you know. See, this one here is not shy at all. He's all over on the rocks.
There are hermit crabs everywhere. They even nest inside the walls of the house.
They hide inside of the creases of the wall where they think you cannot find them, where the shell can blend in with the wall. So you have to look good in the creases to make sure you found some. See, like this one, you see how he's in there when he's holding on to the wall. So, see, he's coming out. Well, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
The crabs are taken to the back of the restaurant. Tonight, it's all about them. During the heyday of rum production, there were 26 distilleries on the British Virgin Islands. Rum was mainly exported to Europe, but today only the Callwood Distillery is left. It is said that it's the only distillery that has been running constantly for 400 years. Callum samples the first distillate.
The front will tell you it's alcohol. So that's how we know it's rum. Because if it don't froth, it's not alcohol.
This is how they have been doing it for hundreds of years. It's all original, except for the plastic bucket.
So we will pick up like 25 gallon a day. So I will get 25 gallon. This is like a half a barrel, so we get a half a barrel a day.
Before the fresh rum is bottled, it needs to mature in oak casks for 1 to up to 10 years. But master distillers like Callum already see the quality of the vintage by looking at the freshly distilled alcohol.
Excellent. You get all the sugarcane, like the sweetness, and you get a nice, like a very strong taste when it enter in your mouth. So you remember this is like a white rum, so it will be more flammable when it enter in your mouth. So it's good, it's good, it's good to bottle. Cheers.
Customers, a couple from Glasgow, Scotland, whiskey country.
Hello, hello. How are you guys today?
Yeah, we're good. 7 bottles, 3, 10, 4.
Callwood Distillery is an insider's tip among yachtsmen. A few bottles of authentic Caribbean rum in the onboard bar is more popular in each harbour than the best sailor's yarn.
Do you have a Scotch whisky? It's a totally different spirit. This is great.
It is different.
Yeah,
to be
totally
fair.
different.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, this rum. Malt whisky is great, but I'm a rum drinker, and I like rum.
There's a discount, but only if you buy more than 2 boxes. But a small one is on the house.
Yeah,
Best rum on the island.
it is. Best rum in the world.
See you later. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Cheers.
The rum is given a lot of time to mature in solitude. There are no tours of the distillery and no ads.
Well, behind this curtain is a secret what we cannot let out for like the customers. So it go way back, and so we have to keep that like how it is. Nobody not allowed upstairs through this door, so we leave it like that.
The midday heat burns down on Tortola's bays and mountains. At the little island bar at Trellis Bay, it's shady and fairly cool.
I think mine's gonna be the fastest.
She's well behaved right about now.
The hermit crab's houses are decorated creatively so that they can be distinguished. Every Tuesday evening, there is a race at the island bar, the crab race.
He bit you?
Yes.
Careful.
You don't want to be painted. Their claws are very sharp. So once they clip on you, they clip and make you bleed. So sometimes when you see they're coming out to do it, you have to let them go.
A funky crab runner requires a groovy name.
I'm naming her Flash. She likes to get away.
I'm gonna name her Purple Rain. I'm about to add a little bit of sprinkle on her, on Purple Rain. I'm doing a very glittery design because I love glitter and I love the color purple. So she's gonna be my little art for today. Beautiful. She doesn't really like it, so she's a bit of a runner right now. There we have it. Purple Rain.
And then the 2 female barkeepers, Jamila Victor and Rice Baltimore, assign the bib numbers. Crab races are a fun activity with sophisticated rules.
Then I'm going to paint her number, her racing number on her. And there is her number, number 11.
But there's a twist in regards to the numbers that are painted on the shells. barkeeper Gabriel Woodward already experienced quite some surprises.
They switch shells by night, so you never know. You can't really know. Yeah, they will sometimes. Sometimes they do. Yeah, like this guy, if they're the same size. But yeah, so I don't know. It depends. Some get tired out by night because we'll test race them, so they might be tired after that.
They're all so pretty though. We did a good job. Which one you think going to be the fastest?
I don't know. It's so hard to tell.
I got my money on Purple Rain.
Is it a 4?
For revitalization, the hermit crabs are fed some dog food. In the north of Tortola, way up on the steep hillside, there is an organic farm. Salad, spinach, papaya, avocado fruit and pineapples are grown here. The terraced fields were used for growing sugarcane for the rum distilleries before. Aragon Dick Reed and his helpers can harvest fresh arugula today. It's about time.
Right now we're blessed because it rained just a little bit in the past week, but before that we had like 3 weeks of no rain at all, and it was scary. But right now we're pretty much out. But so we've had 3 nights of enough rain to make everything, get back in action.
Aragon is part of a network of activists who intend to revitalize self-sufficiency on the island. These fields were overgrown for decades.
It's a weird situation we're in Tortola, where since the beginning of human habitation on these islands, there has never been so little food grown as there is now, and now is the point where it's the most populated it's ever been in history, which is pretty strange and not very stable. But from when I was a kid, there were people farming not all of these hillsides, but in parts, and it was still a strong part of the whole culture.
But the big seller of his fruit and vegetable farm are the birds of paradise. That's what they call the exotic flowers that are mandatory for every holiday photo taken at the Caribbean. Aragon needs to hurry as he's expected down at the bay. He'll start his delivery rounds later tonight. Roadtown, the capital, isn't just a destination for yachts and cruise ships. It's also a safe haven for the assets of tax dodgers from all around the world. 500,000 offshore companies are suspected to exist on the British Virgin Islands. High above town at the mountainside of Mount Sage is Alexandra Durante's small business, a startup inside a bedroom. Here, Alexandra manufactures bathing soap from the salt of Salt Island. It's a clean business, even though she almost landed a job with the money laundering industry.
I went to school for accounting because as well as tourism here in Tortola, it's big in trust companies. And so I thought I might go into accounting, but after a summer of, in that field, it wasn't for me. I need to be out and working with my hand. For me, my philosophy is, I'd rather be happy doing something I love than, making money in something that I don't really love doing. It's not my passion. This is my passion.
Before she can add the harvested salt, Alexandra needs to mix the base ingredients of her soap. Oil, fragrances, colors, sodium hydroxide. The recipe isn't a big secret. but there are some tricks.
I think it's more like an art. You either can make soap or you can't make soap. You can either paint or you can't paint. You know, you can have a recipe, but if you don't know what to do with it, then it's not going to do anything for you.
Soap with sea salt. Alexandra first heard of this at a soap maker's workshop in Florida. The salt should work like a peeling and rejuvenate the skin.
Will crack and crumble when you cut it. But...
A few crystals on top, almost done. The mixture now needs to harden in the mold for a few days. Then Alexandra will be able to cut it into soap bars.
Pretty proud of myself. It's beautiful.
Alexandra's father built the soap cutter out of his old guitar. 2 bars of sea salt soap are already done.
See, it's a mixture of the sand and the salt and the pumice.
An island with salt on its doorstep and always a few new business ideas.
Salt, I mean, they've been using salt for hundreds of years. To salt, from salting beef to, obviously now we're putting them in baths. So I don't think it'll ever go to waste, and it'll never die down. It'll be always a tradition in our daily staple of life. I don't think you can really recreate salt. So it'll still be here.
At the tiny bar island, preparations for the crab race get into top gear. The barkeepers start the test runs. The hermit crab that reaches the rope ring first is ranked highest.
Number 17.
He's third. We got
Number 7.
7. He's
Number
4.
19.
19.
Number 11.
11.
14.
4 is 5.
Yeah.
14 is like.
And 5.
All right.
Purple Rain trails far behind. Maybe it was a bit too much glitter. As during a horse race, there are test runs. Now they pick the runners for the evening.
We rank them. We rank them fastest to slowest, and then we put them in tiers. The fastest guys in tier 1, the slower guys tier 2, tier 3, and then the slowest in tier 4. So tier 1, if you bet on him, you would win a beer if your crab won. And then the second tier, you would get a soft drink if your guy won, if he was a tier 2 crab. And then tier 3 would be a dessert if your crab won and he was from tier 3. And then tier 4, who's the underdog, there's only one crab, 13, this guy right here. He's the slowest, so if he wins and you bet on him, it'd be a whole entree. I'll redo this one.
Whoever bets on the loser of the training runs, today's number 13 has a chance for the biggest win. At Trellis Bay Beach, organic farmer Aragon Dick Reed prepares for his evening delivery rounds. The yachts anchoring at the bay want to stash the flavors of the Caribbean.
They need rum. They need rum to keep them sailing, and they need fresh food. They've come to paradise, so we deliver. It's all part of the plan.
It's a shop then.
It is, and this is the boat shopping. I think we're ready.
Every evening at 6 o'clock sharp, Aragon starts his hustle as he calls his tour on a swimming village shop. The British Virgin Islands are a very popular sailing area, especially among US American families.
Hey guys. How are you all? Hey, good day guys. Hey, one of you'd like anything fresh from the farm or any fresh baked breads? Or if you'd like yeah. How are you all today? No, real hippie. That would be a hard thing to define and a bit of a bracket to start with.
Aragon's tour is off to a good start. The family from Baltimore is in a buying mood. Papaya, mango, bread and flowers. $80 from the first yacht, tax-free.
There you go. That's a beautiful sight. Which is the lucky lady? That's what I want to see. Who's going to be the lucky lady? Bring her out here. One on each side of her head. That's a beautiful smile. That's fantastic. Cool, that's a nice shot.
Aragon needs to hurry. One of his regulars is waiting at the harbor of Scrub Island. It's a millionaire from Boston on his luxury yacht, accompanied by his skipper and personal chef.
What do you got today?
Well, I've got a little selection of what we picked this morning.
Ooh, a nice papaya. Oh, bok choy, wow.
Yeah, I got some yummy.
We're going to have that tonight. Yep, we can have that tonight. Good. No, we're not ready for them.
Yeah,
2 days away?
Give them 2 days. Yeah.
Excellent. Very nice.
Yeah,
yep, that one looks
super
super ready.
rules,
Look at that. Wow.
Papaya.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Papaya, please.
Okay,
I give you 60.
then
54, so you gave me my $5 and $1 for gas, so
Yeah,
we're even on the food.
It's a good evening for Aragon. He has chosen the right selection of goods and always hits the right mood. With British decency.
a good old perfect.
In the morning, he has an important appointment. Among his clients are also millionaires who own their own private island. High tension at the Island Bar. It's after 8 o'clock and the first run of the legendary crab race is about to start. The staff is betting too, in order to cheer up the mood.
Yes, thank you. 7 1.
7 and 1. Okay.
Gabriel Woodward is also the bookkeeper tonight. The stake is $1 per crab.
And then just go in the center.
7.
The first crab to touch the rope. We'll lift the top, and the first one to touch the rope is the winner.
Go. Come on.
Each race lasts about 1 minute, but the first run already delivers a surprise. Purple Rain lags far behind again. Flash, number 11, he's not in a good shape. It's sensational. The loser from the training run wins tonight.
Number 13, lucky for some, right? So number 13, best number in the world. Everybody just be cool, right?
Number 13 as well, the underdog. Yeah, winners.
Champions, man, champions.
Everyone is in a betting frenzy. The main dish they won will be served later. This strange cargo on Tortola's coastal road is meant for Aragon Dick Reed. The Road Town Port Authority has taken some buoys out of service. The organic farmer has another string to his bow. He also works with steel.
Yeah, I get them from the Seoul fuel depot where they tie up their tankers to them. So these are the ones that they're getting rid of, and so I'm recycling them basically. They once we grind off the rust and with paint, we're actually pretty usable, and they've got a lot of years as fireballs ahead of them. So that's the name of the game here.
These heavy monsters are unpredictable. They roll around. Better be careful. But it's a long way from the discarded mooring ton to the flame-spitting fireball. First, they need to be moved from the truck to the workshop. And then the arduous part begins. Aragon uses a plasma torch to burn ornaments into the rusty balls of steel.
Goodbye.
He likes sun patterns best, but his demanding clientele often has unusual wishes.
I've done one for Richard Branson just recently. That was a fun project because it had scenes of sort of all of his friends that have visited Necker Island. So there was Mandela there, there was Lady Di and his the princes, and Mick Jagger. So they were all kind of Richard Branson's good friends, which was cool.
This fireball costs $10,000. Richard Branson's special order cost a bit more. Singing and the sound of the ukulele belong to Carrot Bay like the rushing of the surf or the screeching of the tern.
Don't mess with me, jam in the morning, jam in the evening. My girlfriend invite me to she mother home. I stay outside and look in the woman.
Egbert Donovan likes to sing all day long because he is in a good mood and he attracts customers with it. He writes his own song lyrics as well as the many epigraphs he sells, handwritten cheeky four-liners in his Caribbean pidgin English.
Life is hard. Help me. Jane, what can I do? She said, go and look warm. Thank you.
Egbert needs to paint a new sign because he just sold this little joke to an American woman.
At a sign in there, a lady, her husband was a very lazy guy. So she see the sign and she decides she go in and she take it back to the States to her husband. Let him see what people thinking out there.
Egbert thought that the original version was a bit too harsh.
John tell his wife, Jane, life is so hard. She tell him, get up your old ass and go look walk. She tell me because she tired. He's a lazy man too.
Egbert has many business ideas too. Up in the village, he has his own little seashell museum inside the ruins of a hotel. He runs a restaurant, a telephone repair shop, and does musical shows. There is always something going on, but Egbert's little wisdoms of life are the biggest seller.
The old man with the beautiful lady, but he cannot sleep with his two eyes closed. Hell. Why, you see, he said that? His lady, his wife was a beautiful lady, but everybody looking at her. So when he now go to sleep, she disappear. So he decide he have to sleep with one eye closed and one eye open to see when she going out of the house. So that's
At Trellis Bay Beach, the spirit expellers on their stilts prepare for their show. Shevorn and his Moko Jumbies. It's a premiere for Jamal. He is quite excited.
Romantic and
graduation, I think.
I feel extra anxious.
That's in the world, really?
Yeah.
Why? Well, you guys come
Because it's like I actually get to showcase my talent.
we don't mind.
Something I like to do.
you love
So
to be in
it's
a
anxious for me
video,
right about now.
We love
Like the music, I have to get good music to get me anxious. Yeah. And I get extra hype and I actually perform better. Yeah.
But I'm more anxious because I love doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I got stretch that one. I got stretch.
The costumes are homemade. Onesies with 3-meter-long legs. It is said that Moko Jumbies have magical powers, but in any case, they are an attraction.
Let's go. Yes. Oh, Lord. Yes. We scooping. Time for the action.
Been on the road with me, old woman.
Old woman.
Oh, man.
Aragon Dick Reed employed Chevron's troupe for a little party at his workshop. He has a reason to celebrate.
Well, I just finished this new bull, so we're doing a little celebration ceremony, just to christen the bull, you know, make it come alight. And we hope it's going to catch fire. And then I've invited some Moko Jumbie buddies of mine to come and bless it.
Shevorn and his stilts dancers expel all the evil spirits, so that life on the British Virgin Islands, here in the Caribbean, can remain relaxed and easygoing.